Assalamu alaikum. Hi everyone. Today we'll make one famous dish in Egypt recipes is Egyptian potato stew in the oven. We'll use first of all our ingredient is potatoes, and you see here the Egyptian potatoes. I clean and cut it into large round pieces, and I keep it water so as not to change its color. Of course, Egyptian food, so we use a lot of Egyptian onion, and we cut it into slices, a lot of onions, maybe 4 to 5 big large onions. And here is we chop these onions. This will be for marinating of our meat. Garlic, we use one big head of garlic, and we slice its cloves. Of course we'll use salt, pepper, and chili and nutmeg for our recipe. We'll use tomato slices and fresh tomato juice. Here we use a famous Egyptian delicious piece of beef. It is called the shank meat of the buffalo, and it is in Arabic, and in Egyptian way we call it moza. Moza because it's so soft and it's tender, and it gives a nice flavor to our dish. And here Egyptian margarine. First of all, we'll add salt and pepper to our onions here, the finely chopped, to prepare it to be ready to receive the meat. What will happen when you add salt and pepper to onions? The juices of salt, the juices of onion will come out. You can smell here. If you can smell here, it gives me tears in my eyes because all the flavors of onions come. This will be our marinade for our meat. So I will keep it aside here. And we start to cut our meat into portions. Some Egyptian ladies would prefer to boil the meat first, just to decrease the time of cooking of our stew of potato. No problem, but for me I prefer to take the juices and the flavors of meat with the potatoes, with the onions, with the garlic, all of them. Imagine that all the flavors are mixing together. Here I'm mixing my meat pieces with the onion that I have finely chopped with salt and pepper, and keep it aside. And of course nutmeg, don't forget it. Here is the onion rings. We will add the salt and pepper and powder chili and mix. Also to get the juices of onions. Here you see I start to tearing of my eyes because of the smell of onions. And of course the Egyptian onions are extra spicy and extra tasty, very delicious one. Here we prepared our pan. We use a Pyrex pan, no problem. You can use a porcelain one, metal, whatever you have with coating or without any coating, no problem. Just we are combining and putting and layering of our components. We start by margarine, adding Egyptian margarine to all the pan. It will help that our pan will not stick with the component, and it will give delicious, tasty and creamy the potato and the onions and the meat. All will be having tasty, creamy taste. And start to distribute fresh tomato juice. Here you see the red color of the Egyptian tomato is very nice and very fresh color. Then we add our potato slices. Then we add some salt and pepper to our potatoes, and some chili, start to add our onion. For me and my husband, we prefer extra onions as all Egyptians prefer it, and some garlic slices like that. It will be nice that you have a meat with potato, with garlic, with onion, all that in one spoon or one bite. Then here we go, we put our meat in. Of course the meat has taken the taste of onions. Just distribute it all over our pan. And then we return to add potato again. Then onions ring. You can imagine how much onions we added here. And the garlic. And here's the last pieces of meat. And tomato slices. Just distribute all over. And then the final touch of fresh tomato juice. After distributing of our fresh tomato sauce, it is ready. Just to add 1 spoon of Egyptian marguerite in the face of our stew. That will give it a special color and special taste, and give it special shape of Egyptian potato stew. So what we'll do next, we'll cover it with a wax paper, aluminum foil, and put it in preheated oven for the maximum heat for about half an hour, and then you can decrease the heat for about 200 degrees centigrade. Here our wax paper covering completely to be sealed and covered totally, and then we cover with aluminum foil. Now it is ready to be inserted in our preheated oven. As I told you, it will be in very hot temperature first for about half an hour, and then decrease to 200 degrees centigrade. Let us start our oven journey. Here we go, with our stew is ready. You can see this, the meat is well done, and the potatoes is creamy, and all the onions and tomato all make this lovely sauce all around. It can be eaten with Egyptian pita bread or Egyptian white rice. You can try it. Waiting for your comments. مع السلامة.